to actually retrieve the debris.
So the weather in all these three locations, hundreds of miles apart, is stopping them from finding the debris. And how do we know it didn't crush a civilian or a house? Well, why did the Pentagon say it could be aliens, but the binder said it wasn't aliens? And how can Biden be smart to wait to shoot down a balloon and also smart to not wait to shoot down balloons? And how did our F-16s miss the first time?
On the fourth one over Lake Huron, first shot missed, second shot hit. The missile landed harmlessly in the water of Lake Huron. We tracked it all the way down, and we made sure that the airspace was clear of any commercial or civilian or recreational traffic.
All right, so our missiles are missing unidentified flying objects and just flying into the Great Lakes. And we can't find any of the debris that we've hit. And each missile costs about $400,000. And we're using each missile to pop a balloon, but we don't really know if it's a balloon or not. Could be an alien, or it could be a satellite, or no one knows. So are we going to be spending billions to pop American weather balloons?
If it turns out, as it looks like, that the president and Mr. Trudeau sent Top Gun fighters to blow weather balloons out of the sky, does the president regret that, and is he embarrassed by that?
I'm not going to get ahead of what of any final decision. We just don't know yet. We actually just don't know. And as I've said, as my colleague has said from NSC, it is in consideration that could be the leading explanation here. Again,
is the president embarrassed by that?
No,
the idea that you would take hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment?
Michael, let me answer the question. I don't think the president should be embarrassed, right, by the fact that he took action to make sure that our airspace, civilian airspace, was safe. I don't think that he should.
I'm sorry.
I'm answering the question. I am answering the question, right? The president took action because we did see that these objects were in the airspace of civilian airspace.
So there's hundreds of weather balloons in civilian airspace every day, 7 days a week. Hundreds. Is Biden going to go on a weather balloon killing spree? None of this makes any sense. Lieutenant General Richard Newton is a retired Assistant Air Force Vice Chief of Staff. So it looks like these are just American weather balloons that just popping with $400,000 missiles. Are you proud of that as a former Air Force guy?
Well, Jesse, what we do know is that first off, the Chinese are conducting a global spy campaign with these balloons, and they're, I think, a significant threat to the United States. Period. Dot on that point. The fact that whether or not we're able to, we had one shot with an F-16 that was unable on the first shot with an AIM-9X Sidewinder shoot it down. These are very complex, very complex mission. Again, we're not trained. Or they designed, certainly the F-16 or the F-22, to go after a slow mover such as a 5 or 10 knot balloon. I can tell you that at USAF Weapons School or certainly at Top Gun, we don't train. This isn't in our playbook. But nonetheless.
You don't train on popping balloons. I would agree.
No, we
would
don't.
Agree.
but this is a significant threat. And it's a wake-up call for Americans. The fact that the Chinese are operating this global spy campaign through balloons. They're in a region, at least that first balloon that was shot down on the 4th of February by an F-22, that was operating up at about 65,000 feet. That's in a near space regime that I believe the Chinese are trying to exploit. We don't operate up there very much. We've got some reconnaissance aircraft such as the U-2 and the Global Hawk unmanned aerial vehicle. But it's a region that I believe the Chinese are going to try to exploit, and they're doing it.
No, but it's
again,
an accident.
For the last couple of years,
General,
40 nations and 5 continents.
The Biden team is saying that the wind just blew it around here. They're just saying this was all a big mistake, and they were monitoring it the whole time. It just happened to blow across all of our secret military installations.
Yeah, this is not a mistake, Jesse. In fact, I was the commander of the 5th Bomb Wing at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota. If I had a Chinese spy balloon overhead like they did in Montana for 3 days, I'd be very concerned as an operational commander, with my capabilities that I had with B-52 bombers and intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's a threat.
But
And
they said
again,
that the Biden
we
guys
should not
said they were
tolerate this.
spying on the balloon. The balloon wasn't spying on us, General. Biden says he was spying on the balloon. Do you buy that?
Well, I would respectfully disagree. And I would disagree to the point where actions mean more than words. And if I've got a Chinese spy balloon over the north central part of the United States and I allow it to stay over there for 3 to 4 days or 5 days, and oh, by the way, it transited across the United States. I commanded the B-2 Squadron at Whiteman Air Force Base in central Missouri. It just about went over that facility as well until we finally shot it down off the South Carolina coast. Again, this is a near debacle, in my view, of again, intent of the Chinese trying to replace the United States as a sole superpower, and they're acting as a bully, and we're tolerating it. We should not be timid, and we should not be self-deterrent at our actions,
Yeah,
period.
we're not only tolerating it, we're making excuses, and we're blaming the